Hello, MD530 friends. My name is William Jones, and I'm in my third year at Fuller's MDiv program. I am located in Oshawa, which is a mid-sized city in Ontario, Canada, and I currently serve as the worship and ministry coordinator at Zion Church, a small church in the city of Oshawa. In the last couple of years, my role has been all about connecting the church to the city and being able to help the church come alongside the city. It's something that we've been embracing, perhaps slowly, as a congregation, this vision, this city vision. And it's this city vision that really grounds my understanding of my job, but also of place, land, and home. The church is not just an isolated institution. We are neighbors of our location. And as our church here at Zion went through a process of renewal over the last couple years, we felt God putting our location very much on our hearts and bringing that new awareness to us, seeing our location as a God-given gift. And we aren't only Zion Church, we are Zion Church, the church on the corner of Central Park Boulevard and Adelaide Avenue. And so many of our congregants will, when they are talking about church to their friends, refer to Zion based on the corner, this intersection that we find ourselves on. Now, I myself am greatly shaped by the people of the city, our neighbors. My conversations with the locals who use our food bank at Zion each week shape me and my understanding of Jesus. Working alongside people in the South Patch Community Garden here in Oshawa helps me understand city life and realities so much more. Being able to talk with a homeless schizophrenic man who calls himself Nature each week leaves me with a grand thought about spirituality. And it gives me a face to the name when Jesus talks about the least of these. I was struck by the article on Jeremiah 29, how we're not only called to go out and serve as a church, but we are actually called to invest our lives. It needs to cost us something. Community requires commitment, and we've experienced that in the church. But church can often be something that we expect to receive something from. But here, Jeremiah 29 calls us to invest and to give of ourselves. And so I needed that grounding, that reaffirmation again. Now, I just registered for this class yesterday, a bit late to the game due to some registration changes, so I'm still waiting on Amazon Prime to deliver my books. However, I picked up Tim Keller's book called Loving the City. If you haven't read it, I'd highly encourage it. It's a fantastic read. And I was leafing through some of the things that I had underlined years ago when I read it. And I was reminded of this concept in such a beautiful way. So Tim Keller actually says that we must also recognize how much the city itself brings the gospel to us. The city will challenge us to discover the power of the gospel in new ways. So it's something that I've spent a lot of time thinking about in my role as a ministry coordinator. We often think we have something that we must go and bring to the city. However, when we go and do that, we actually get something from the city. We become aware of the gospel in new ways as the city brings the gospel, shines the gospel on us. Now, when I heard this class was available, I was automatically thinking about my context, the context I find myself in. Oshawa is one of the fastest growing cities in Canada, and with that population increase, we're seeing a rise in housing prices and an increase of people who cannot afford those housing prices. And so as such, homelessness is on the rise as well. We're seeing that in our city. It's a big question that we're looking at as a city. And so it's this question that I have great desire to learn more about. How does the church not only understand a theology of homelessness, housing, and home, but how does it apply such a theology in its practice? What does that look like? Um, we have a unique relationship with our city, our local city government. Our mayor was homeless, and this was years ago. And he started going to a church. The church invested in him, and his life changed so much so that now he was elected as mayor. He struggled with drug use and addiction, and so his transformation brought him to this place of now leading the city. And so he's been involving all of the faith communities from our city and talking about homelessness and housing. And so it's just been a fascinating development that's been happening here. So I look forward to studying that more, sharing some stories about that. And I look forward to hearing stories from your context as well and learning from you. So I look forward to this journey together.